Yo, what is up, guys? It is your host Seiji Samurai here, and welcome back to the channel. It's hope you all enjoyed it. Here I am with another part 2. What if Asta had Mihawk sword skills? And I know it's been it's actually only been 3 days, but hey, yeah. As you guys can see, I'm actually still making the commitment to posting a video every day of the week. I'm sorry for the guys who didn't see me post on Friday, as I wasn't able to. If you guys don't know, I got sick and was unfortunately not able to post on Friday. So, yeah. Luckily, I'm now feeling slightly better and still have the energy to record. Except you guys are not going to be able to hear me have like a bunch of energy because I'm still like out of it. Because, bro, I'm telling you right now, when I was, I was like, I was not feeling 100%. That's all I can really say. But now that I at least have enough energy to record the video, why don't we just go on and get started? Because I really don't got much else to tell y'all. So why don't we move on with this? So once again, welcome to part 10 of this What If, and let's get started.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Alright guys, now let's move forward. On with the plot. So you guys don't know, in the last part, we pretty much had taken care of Danzo now. As like I said, Naruto, since Tsunade went off to the 5 Kage Summit, Naruto was actually left in charge in this situation. Mostly due to the fact that, although you would expect it to be Jiraiya, Naruto was actually left in charge of this, considering Jiraiya thought this would actually be a pretty good case, since Naruto was a lot more mature than he was in canon. Plus, this could also get him more of experience as being a Hokage. And due to this, Naruto, under this certain leadership, was actually able to find out some things about Danzo and about certain criminal acts that he did in the past. So, like usual, Naruto would actually take care of this, as he felt that as a village, he couldn't exactly have this man running around the village, especially with all the pain and suffering that he caused. There was no way he was going to allow it. So, with a very swift amount of movements, Naruto would be able to take out of Danzo. And of course, after finding out about it, many actually, the more higher members of the village, when they found out about it, they were of course at first upset with Naruto, and some of them even tried to initiate that he got banned. But luckily, after going and sorting out through the information, they actually would allow it, considering the fact they couldn't exactly let Danzo run around. Especially since there was also the fact that they really didn't honestly have any idea how to, they questioned this man's full loyalty to the Hidden Leaf. But we're now turned back. So by this point in time, Tsunade had to return, and just like in canon, things have been going on. Well, actually, no. Did I? Yeah, okay. So yeah, just like in canon, the squad was still formed to search out for Sasuke, aka Orochimaru in this timeline, as they all had begun their search for him. As he now turned to Orochimaru. The man had been mad at work. He had stolen jutsus from different villages all over, as he had been trying his hardest to learn and master this new body of his and planning to make it immortal. He had stolen jutsus from the Stone Village, the Cloud Village, the Mist Village. He even tried to get his hands on the Leaf Village, but he felt that he wasn't as powerful as he is right now. After all, the last time he tried making a weapon too powerful that he could handle, well, it got defeated by Naruto. Orochimaru at this point, even though he was a Sani, he had fully acknowledged that the Uzumaki was a true threat in his plans, so he was not going to go ahead and waltz in there all arrogant. Although it did hurt his pride, considering the fact that he's been around this world for much longer than Naruto. He had learned more jutsus and a bunch of other stuff more than Naruto, yet this man was easily able to beat him. And that stung, but it was the truth. So due to this, Orochimaru has been doing everything he could to gain more jutsus, gain more information, and he's been absorbing it all, as well as pushing the limits of the Sharingan. As this is when we would then turn back to him, he was currently training his hardest right now, going through testing. As during this time period, Orochimaru was honestly just going through a very obsessive. No, he was always obsessed. No, he was just doing the usual actually. As while he was enjoying this is when suddenly, as he was going through all this research and studying everything, he would then suddenly feel a presence. As he was currently right now reading a scroll, he would put it down. As turning around, he would then activate the power of the Amaterasu, burning whatever target was there. At this, he heard the flames erupt, as well as them consuming whoever was there. as he then turns back to his scroll, going back to his research. However, this is when a voice would then set in. That wouldn't work on me, you know that, right? At this, Orochimaru then turns around, only to be face to face with the masked man, aka Madara, also known as the Mega Ultra Simp Obito, as he was currently right there staring down at Orochimaru with his Sharingan activated. Orochimaru would actually be surprised at another Sharingan user, as he then turns to him with a confused expression, asking him if he was Itachi or someone else. At this, the man would chuckle, saying that he wasn't, but he was someone who was more older along the lines. At this, Orochimaru would actually look at him in surprise until he could feel a very powerful chakra signature coming from him. At this, he then backs away, as this is when Obito would then state the words of the legendary Uchiha, Madara Uchiha, causing Orochimaru to now realize, hey, he's in the presence of a legend right now, and this caused him to tense up and prepare for a fight. As he wondered, did this man just come back from his grave to get some type of revenge on him? What was going on? And although Orochimaru did have confidence in his skill right now, as he has been stealing a bunch of jutsu, he knew he was no match for the ghost of the Uchiha. So, he would ask him once again what exactly was he here for. As is when walking over to him, he says that he would actually like to make a deal with Orochimaru. Now this would pique the interest of the snake Sanin, blah, as he then gets on a smirk. After all, a deal with the ghost of the Uchiha? Now this was nothing more but pure benefit to him. Now back with the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto as well as the rest of them had been going on with their lives relatively well, to the point where now Naruto is fully, I'm just going to say he's dating Temari at this point right now. And pretty much things have been going pretty good with the Hidden Leaf Village. Since there wasn't any sign of battle or any destruction, most of the construction that was made did not get destroyed. And so overall, the Hidden Leaf Village has been in peace. They have been at the peak of it right now. Tsunade was of course still worried about Obito, aka Madara's, threat. However, since he has done nothing at this time actually, they have been doing pretty well. As for the search party, they have been searching all different locations, as well as taking in different rumors that they heard that Orochimaru was being spotted in. They would go check them out, only to find out that the snake would be left, and the only thing they could find about him was small little trails, or the fact that he had stolen something from the area. So due to this, right now, we now turn to Naruto, who currently right now was the one who actually was surprisingly the one who's been mostly focused on it. Sure, he had time to go spend time with, the people that he cares about, but he's been the one who's been most focused on looking for Orochimaru. Now, Naruto, unlike in canon, he was not arrogant. He knew that Orochimaru was a slippery snake, and he knew that if he got the right weapons, he could eventually do something more destructive than try to take down the entire Leaf Village. So it was already pretty clear to him that he needed to take care of the snake Sanin as soon as possible. So while he was searching around the area, sooner or later, Naruto would eventually end up meeting some type of dead end, as he would actually find himself arriving at a cave. This would confuse Naruto, as he would then jump through the cave, confused at what was going on here. As when he jumps through it, he would actually be surprised to find something he didn't expect to see for a very long time. It was the Geto statue. Now, this was surprising to Naruto. This statue, when Naruto first had sent it during the first time he fought Deidara and Sasori, he actually punched the statue and actually thought he had broken it. So he was surprised at this, seeing that it was fully intact. And he was confused because he sensed a bunch of very and powerful energy, as this is when suddenly Kurama would then speak up at this point, as he would actually give Naruto some information, saying that he could sense his sibling stuck in there. This will surprise Naruto, as he then turns to the statue, as he asked Kurama if there was any other way to fix this, or if there was a way to release him actually. Which surprised him, but then again, knowing Naruto for so long at this point, and having way better connection than he did in canon, Kurama was of course able to shake it off until he turns to Naruto, telling him that, well, although he may not find a way right now, he could definitely come up with something in a few moments later. And at this, Naruto was okay with it. As for now, he needed to find a way to cover this up, or at least remember the location where he hid this. As he then walks over to the statue, this is when suddenly Naruto would then step on a seal, which suddenly then erupts a bunch of other seals around the cave. Naruto would then be surprised as just like that, a massive boom would then be heard, shaking a village that was nearby and causing some panic in that area. This was a trap, as we will then see suddenly multiple figures begin to walk out of the smoke, as Naruto would then be shown completely fine, although his clothes were a little bit destroyed, but that was nothing. As he then turns around to see multiple multiple versions of White Zetsu, surprising him. Wait, what? As this one suddenly, without even another word, each one of them would then suddenly rush at Naruto, who would then dodge and actually begin to beat down on them. However, he could already tell that these guys were just relentless. They were coming after him. What exactly is going on here was the only thing that was running through his mind as he begins to beat down these guys who weren't even strong. In fact, they were easy to beat. Quite simple. However, things were not looking that good with the rest of the search party, as every single one of the members were actually getting attacked by these White Zetsus, as they all swarm and try to attack the Konoha team, as well as trying to attack other villages that had decided to turn up at the very moment. Due to this, the rest of them had pretty much been in some type of battle royale, with each of them facing off against them. Now I will say this, certain events of the canon will continue following, as I would say this, in replace of Kabuto being the one that, Toby makes an alliance with, I'm going to say that he actually makes the alliance with Orochimaru, so Orochimaru is the one who's doing it. Now, while this was happening, though, Orochimaru would actually not be... Well, he would actually do some other things, as due to him now being sort of Kabuto in this situation, he would actually end up summoning the the reanimated, apologies, and he would be the reason to cause most of the events here. Now, eventually, as the Konoha team began to fight all these, White Zetsus and all that stuff, as well as actually begin to fight some other, reanimated, considering the fact that at this point, Orochimaru has a large chakra reserves. Now that he has it with his own and Sasuke's, it's kind of terrifying at that point. So due to this, he's now able to actually do certain things, and so it's not really all that surprising where I'm just going to say the events of canon are still going to happen here. But I'm going to say this. As the Konoha team began to get overwhelmed, as even though these guys were incredibly weak, there was a problem though, and that was the fact that they were very persistent and that they had a large amount of numbers to them. So each time they would just knock them down, they would come back and they would get even more annoying as they have to fight them over and over again. And so, due to this, as the Konoha team was finally getting overwhelmed, this is when a red beam would then fall from the sky. Everyone would look up in shock as they would see each one of these red beams then get shot out throughout the entire sky, as each one of them would then land at different areas around them. At this, each members of the areas where the White Zetsus were attacking would then close their eyes. However, as the smoke would then clear, they would then see Naruto, who has appeared, as well as other copies of him and his clones, as each one of them had Sage Mode activated at this point. Back with Naruto, he had defeated all the Zetsus that were in his area right now, although they were quite persistent, so what he did was he pretty much made a ginormous ki blast to blow up the entire area. Not enough to destroy the statue, of course, but enough to get away from the Zetsus. At this, Naruto was confused at this until he senses using, of course, Sage Mode, as he had activated it, well, I wouldn't say instantly, but I would say, actually, yeah, no. Considering this version of Naruto is much more relaxed and tamed, it's not that surprising that he would actually use Sage Mode this sooner, and this, way faster than he does in canon. So due to this, as Naruto was sensing around the area, he would actually be surprised as he could sense multiple versions of these Zetsus appearing out of nowhere. And so due to this, he instantly had jumped into actions, as he could already tell that his friends' chakras and just the energy of his friends were now fading about, meaning that they were getting tired. However, while this was happening though, Naruto did realize that there was also a very strong source of chakra coming from the Sand Village. So, using, of course, the instant transmission, he would then transfer over there. Back in the Sand Village, not much is really changing. Gaara is still clashing with his father, that being the Kazekage. And also, actually, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really have to explain much here, but I'm just going to say the canon still sticks to the same on that part, all the way until Naruto's arrival, pretty much. Now, as soon as Naruto finally arrives, it was now him versus actually the third Raikage. Now, this fight would actually go in Naruto's favor here, as Naruto, being more than strong enough, is easily able to face off against him, being equal to that Kage level. As the third rate Kage in this timeline, he would actually make more comments about Naruto, saying that he was impressed with his skill, as even with his superior speed, Naruto is actually surprisingly faster than him. Now, due to Naruto having instant transmission or having like legit multiple different forms of teleportation, it was not that surprising when Naruto was able to literally teleport while this man has to dash around the entire area. So due to this, of course, the Raikage was of course impressed at this. And I'm not gonna sit here and explain the whole fight in detail here, because again, like I say, I suck at describing fights. Either way, I'm just gonna say this: Naruto was actually able to overwhelm the Raikage, unlike using some type of not unlike using a clever technique to take him out. As thanks to him using just his own raw superior strength alone, he was able to defeat the Raikage quite easily. And due to this, the Raikage of course gives Naruto his respect. And he also comments on how Naruto and as well as the newer generation are going to give the old ones quite a run for their money, and that he was happy to see it grow. After that, the man would of course be sealed away, as we're now turning back to the rest of the things with Gaara facing off against the second Mizukage, of course, where the Mizukage still gets bodied like in canon. And this is when, finally, after a bunch of other things, this is when, after taking care of what they thought were the bigger threats of the area, this is when suddenly, on top of a large hill, we would then see two individuals pull up. Now, this is where we actually see Obito, surprisingly, as well as Orochimaru, both pull up. Now, this would surprise Naruto, as he had sensed their chakra, as like he did not sense their chakra at all, as he was actually more focusing on something much bigger in the area, but he couldn't exactly sense where. As he wondered what was going on here, as he would glare directly at them, this is when Obito would just laugh and chuckle, as Orochimaru would also end up chuckling as well. At this, everyone who was there at that very moment was confused, like what the heck was going on. But this is when suddenly a power that was extremely intense would begin to set in, as most of the shinobis that were not exactly at that level would fall down to their knees, while even the Kages that were there were sweating, while Naruto, he was able to stand strong at this. However, he still was initially surprised. This power was definitely something that Naruto has experienced before, but it's only he experienced it from the tailed beast, all trapped in the ghetto statue. So when Naruto was able to sense something or someone who has equal of that power, he was shocked, as this is when the figure would then reveal himself. Bursting open from a coffin, we would then see him. And at this, everyone's eyes widen, as Naruto can do nothing more but, put on a very serious expression, as the name Madara Uchiha would then be spread throughout everyone, as everyone could actually do nothing more but shake in fear. At this, as soon as Madara's appearance was shown, a tone would then set into the entire area, as legit, some people were legit like fainting on the spot, some people were like crapping themselves. They did not understand, as soon as he pulled up, everyone was like, oh my gosh, we have fucked up. Madara himself said nothing more, as he was just calmly looking over everything, as this is when he would then turn to Obito with a confused look, asking why exactly did he bring him all here, which Obito would actually say that, well, he just thought they would actually do a pretty decent warm-up for him. At this, of course Madara nodded at this, as he ends up giving him an amused smirk, as he would then begin to do exactly what he does in canon. Jumping down, we will get some of, if not one of the most disrespectful moments in anime history. This man, Madara, would go down there and legit begin to beat the crap out of everyone in the shinobi forces. And honestly, I have to give my respect to the man, the very first man to charge and head first into trying to face off against Madara. That man, I give him my respect. But honestly, he was also probably the stupidest guy there, because bro, how you rutted head first to a guy whose pressure was so strong that literally everyone was like gasping in fear. There was some people even praying, actually. If you actually see like the clip, there were some people that were actually praying as soon as his appearance like legit showed up. So due to this, as soon as this man hit the field, he began to literally blitz out the shinobi forces. none of them were not able to do anything, as he was able to literally defeat them all. Now, using this opportunity, Obito would actually tell Orochimaru to come along with him, as he still had other things to do, to which Orochimaru would nod his head. At this, Naruto, who had been keeping an eye on Orochimaru and Obito, would of course attempt to go after them, of course. But this is when Naruto wouldn't stop himself, as he then sends out a shadow clone instead to go after them, as he realized that Madara right now was currently more important. As for Madara, this man was having a field day. He was literally like treating these guys as if they were soccer balls, sending them flying all over the place. As he tackled one of them into the ground, he would then get up, as most of them tried jumping him at once, only for them to do, I don't know, a spinning windmill kick? I don't even know anymore, as he then sends them all flying. At this, while Madara was doing this, he would happily close his eyes, as this is when suddenly he would then sense a presence behind him and just smirk, as he would then try to elbow that person in the gut, only for said person to catch it, and actually squeeze his elbow to the point where actually he could hear a crack. At this, Madara's eyes widen in surprise, as he then turns around, only to see this man Naruto standing down at him with a menacing look. I think it's about time you and me actually make ourselves acquainted, don't you think? Madara says nothing more as he stares at the man, as this is when Naruto would then apply pressure onto his elbow, as Madara can do nothing more but hear the sound of his elbow getting cracked under the pressure. At this, he will then give a smile at this. "Oh, now you're definitely someone strong," he would say, as he gives him a smile, as everyone in the Shinobi forces at this point backed away from them, as they could tell just from looking at these two that things were about to go down. As a dominating pressure will then shoot out throughout the entire area, as no one is able to do nothing more but stare, as these two titans are about to clash. Now, this is where I'm going to leave this part here, as this was going to be a cliffhanger. Hope y'all do enjoy this part to this What If. I'm really glad if you guys sat here and enjoy it. Don't really got much to really tell y'all. Thank you all for tuning in, I guess. Yeah. But either way, guys, thank you all so much for tuning into this What If. Thank you all for just being you and just supporting me. And either way, I'm about to head out right now. I'm going to go work out, and thank you all for your support. So either way, it's your boy, Seiji Samurai, and I'm out. Peace.